This month on The Card Life, presented by AuctionMonthly.com.
Ah, look at that.
Patrick Mahomes. That is awesome.
I never really got to see or look up to any females in the space, and I was like, I'm just going to be the person I wish younger Kayla had.
Out of the 502 cards, I found 98% of those photos.
Welcome once again to The Card Life. I'm your host, Matt Strahm. The Card Life is the only TV show dedicated to the sports card hobby, and this month our theme is spring training. We'll start just a short drive from my spring training home at CGC Cards. We're going to rip some 2017 Donruss Optic football and try to pull a rookie card of the back-to-back Super Bowl MVP. The best part, we'll get our best hits graded immediately by the awesome team here at CGC. We'll also talk to a collector that went through the painstaking work of identifying every player in Topps team photos from the vintage era. And we'll introduce you to a young collector I traded with this spring. We're down here at CGC again with Andy, and today we have a special treat of 2017 Optic football. So hopefully we can get a Mahomes or a McCaffrey, a little Super Bowl showdown. So.
Be nice.
But yeah, let's break in.
Let's do it.
Empty box, start us off.
Okay, all right, here we go. If I do pull a big Mahomes here in the first pack, it's going to be very anticlimactic after that, right?
Bortles. Kareem Hunt. That would have been a good hit 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, this is kind of interesting. So this one's got real heavy, see how the name is almost kind of double printed like that? It's off. It's supposed to be off a little bit, but this one's off a little more than normal. That's what happens when you break with a grader, right?
Yeah, right? You're already grading it before we even sleeve it. Freeman. Carlson Wentz, fellow North Dakotan.
That's right.
There we go. Bismarck. Yeah. Fun fact, he was the last high school batter I faced.
Oh, really?
He hit a bases clearing triple off me in the state tournament, and I got pulled immediately.
Oh, I see some color in there.
There we go. Could it be Trubisky?
Oh, yeah.
It almost looks like it was meant to be autoed.
Oh,
like
no doubt. No doubt, yeah.
The pants.
For sure.
Is it numbered?
Is not.
Not numbered. So what's the biggest card or the most interesting card you've seen in the last year?
Oh man, in the last year we've seen some crazy ones. Well, I'm a pre-war baseball guy.
Okay.
So one of the coolest things I've seen in the last year, actually had some E104 Nadja Caramel cards come in, but they had a stamp on the back. It's a Swift's is a store. Long story, but they're really cool. It's rare to find them. And we think, we know it's a St. Louis issue, but we think that the Swift stores, it's California, is where they were actually distributed. And so the story behind it was that these popped up on eBay, and the guy really didn't know what they were. Yeah. And so, he's expecting to get $100 for all of them. So they went for like $12,000 for the lot of them. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So he put them up on auction.
Yeah. It turns out just an individual that had found them, and I think it was a relative's stuff, and obviously new card, value to cards, but had no idea that they were worth, this much. And so it was great. There's Eddie Plank, Connie Mack, but so that was a cool one. Very cool.
Wild. Stephon Diggs. There it is.
Look at that.
Patrick Mahomes. Very nice. And so his name's all messed up too, huh?
A little bit, yeah.
A little more than normal.
Yeah, a little more than normal, yeah.
Nice.
Not too bad.
Ezekiel Elliott.
We keep getting Zeke and Dak here, but
Wallace. Aaron Jones. Love that one.
All right.
Well, hey, we got the one we were looking for.
We got a Mahomes rookie, yeah.
We got the champion.
Iron Guard Supplies is the official card supply provider of The Card Life. Use promo code TheCardLife at ironguardsupplies.com for 20% off and free shipping on your order of over $100. Cover your bases with Iron Guard Supplies. It's time to unbox your love of the game, presented by Giant Sports Cards. Cole and Lucas have collecting in their family history. Their grandfather owned a card shop in California for more than 30 years. Cole PCs Corey Seager, while Lucas collects Trey Turner. Giant Sports Cards sent them a jumbo box of 2024 Topps Series 1.
Heavy lumber. That's a case hit, I'm pretty sure.
Congrats on the hits, guys.
Thank you, Giant Sports Cards, for letting us unbox the love of our game.
Unbox your love of the game at giantsportscards.com.
All right, let's take a look at what we got. Let's start with the Aaron Jones line here. Centering's not bad, looks pretty good. The only defect I really see on this one, yeah, but that's fine. The bigger thing is the you see the RC logo?
The shadow around it.
Yeah, so it's off a little bit.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the biggest defect on that one. So that one would be a 9.5.
Gotcha.
There are some small scratches, but not bad. So that one would be a 9.5. And that's similar to what I was talking about with some of the rookies. Their names are supposed to be kind of doubled like that, but some are worse than others. Same kind of
I'd imagine
defect.
like on the back, it's supposed to look like that.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so let's look at the big one here.
All righty.
Mahomes. All right, real clean surface. Another thing that especially on the 17s, but later years as well, but not as bad. But you notice how some of them they were sticking together.
Yeah.
So they have like almost like a film on these.
Right.
And this one's actually really clean. Little spots there, but that's why they were sticking. And of course that can affect the grade as well.
Oh, no doubt. That's I don't think a lot of people understand. Just because it came right out of the pack, it's not a 10.
That's right. Yeah. So you're dealing with quality control issues sometimes, and can be damaged in the pack.
How many hands do you think a card touches before it's in a pack?
That's a great question because a lot of the printing facilities, most everything's automated.
Okay.
Even the packing out, like the collation and the packing out, it's usually not handled until they're in the pack.
Okay.
So there's not a whole lot of handling. Yeah. I think where some damage comes from in the packs are more with the handling afterwards. So the box is being shipped. Yeah, definitely. But no, the Mahomes looks great. I think it's a Gem Mint 10.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good.
Very nice. Cool. All right, now next step is to get them in holders.
Alrighty.
All right, man.
Straight
Here we
from
go.
The press.
I'm letting you do it.
Alrighty, let's see it. All right, we got two of them in here. We're gonna start with the Aaron Jones. It's amazing how much better a card feels as soon as you get it in there, isn't it? And then the big boy.
The big one.
Patty Mahomes. That is awesome. Sweet. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, man, anytime.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Sick.
It really evolved from scaling up my business, and all of a sudden the numbers started to work, and I quit my job in September of 2021, went full-time in October, and 2 years later, not looking back. Right now I'm standing at about 45,000 active listings on eBay. It's a little more than 100,000 cards total with some quantity listings. Move that over to a folder, and then I come over to Card Dealer Pro. Card Dealer Pro, do the work.
This spring, I made a trade with a collector from North Carolina. Kayla Norseworthy has been a great ambassador for the hobby. who shares her collecting journey on her Kayla Collects Instagram page.
Hey, what's up everyone? Kayla Collects here.
I'm Kayla Norsworthy, aka Kayla Collects, and I live in Aberdeen, North Carolina. In 2013, I was like 10 years old, and I would go to a lot of Rays games because I lived in Clearwater and get autographs on baseballs that the players would toss me, and I just thought it was so cool, like the interaction you could have. And one day I saw people getting autographs on cards at a game, and I was like, that's cool, I want cards to get autographs on. So I went to Target and bought 2 packs of 2013 Topps Series 1 baseball and pulled a Manny Machado rookie card out of that, and he was my favorite non-Rays player at the time, and I've been hooked ever since. So it's just evolved from there.
Kayla Collects coming at you with this sick one-package PC mail day. Let's cut it open and find out what's inside.
There's hardly any female representation in this space, and growing up like in the hobby, like I've been in this 10 years now, and I never really got to see or look up to any females in the space, and I was like, you know, I'm just going to be the person I wish younger Kayla had. I really try to think about what a younger collector would want to see and what they would want to look up to, and not everyone has thousands of dollars to shill out at a show. And I think there's importance behind, like, each card has a meaning and a purpose, because with how social media is right now, it's all about like the clicks. I spent this amount at a show, but younger kids coming in don't have to spend that kind of money to enjoy it, and I don't think a lot of other creators in the space share that same message.
I want to welcome you to a new series called Dollar Box Dimes, where I'll be talking about dollar cards that have a little extra story to them that add personal value to my collection.
Because I think if I would have seen it, I wouldn't have gotten discouraged along my journey of being like, oh, this is weird, like I'm one of the only girls. And for a long time, I was like one of the only girls I would see at a show. It's slowly getting higher and higher, like the numbers, and like the National this past year, we had so many people that came to the Women in the Hobby booth at the National. I think people just want to see themselves in the kind of content that they want to watch, and I think younger girls, they'll feel less weird knowing that there's other females that collect as well, because I definitely had times where I would hide it and I wouldn't like tell people about it because I didn't see myself represented. And I think creating that community and opportunity to share stories with other female collectors is important.
We're at Kentucky Roadshow, and I need 1 card to complete my set. A Brandon Miller base card. Not numbered, not Big Kahuna, not anything. We've opened 4 with Jimmy so far. He's pulled Invicta, Skyscraping, a numbered, and a refractor, and he just told me to look at what he just pulled. Big Kahuna. Casing. And we can't pull a base card.
Something that collecting has taught me is authenticity really matters, and people really gravitate towards being genuine with your interactions.
So many of you might not think much about this card, but to me, the picture on this card is super cool.
I enjoy it so much, and there's a genuine passion there that I think comes across in the content I do. Not many other aspects of my life have brought me like the community and just having fun, and the memories that sports cards have created for me in my life are just crazy. It will be things I never forget.
Are you in the business of selling trading cards? Accelerate your trading card business with Ricoh document scanners. The best scanners in the business with the widest range of software and service support. Whether you're a card shop or a collector, from raw singles to rare slabs. Ricoh scanners. Digitize your collection quickly and accurately so you can focus on running your business. Scan more, sell more, do more with Ricoh document scanners.
We grew up as passionate fans and collectors. Now we've started a giant movement that makes you the MVP. Built on GOAT-level service, a game-changing online shopping experience, and the hottest cards at the lowest prices. The ultimate collector's cave, our modern-day retail experience. Open now in Alpharetta, Georgia. GiantSportsCards.com.
Turn this into this at auctionmonthly.com, a better way to sell your sports cards, memorabilia, and collectibles. Our white glove service from start to finish will help you evaluate and sell your entire collection. Turn your sports cards and collectibles into cash. Get started right now at auctionmonthly.com.
Hey card collectors, looking for deals on sports cards? Well, it's time you've heard about Pristine Auction. PristineAuction.com is the most trusted site for sports cards. You can win authentic cards at affordable prices with daily auctions starting at just $1. It's free to register, free to bid, and auctions are ending right now. So head over to PristineAuction.com and sign up with the promo code for $10 off your first win.
Add great cards to your collection at PristineAuction.com, where over 10,000 sports card auctions end every week. Use the promo code TheCardLife and get $10 off your first auction win.
Roy Carlson has been collecting cards since 1969. He's taken on a special project that included identifying over 18,000 players and staff featured on more than 500 vintage baseball cards.
My name's Roy Carlson, and I live in the Chicagoland area. I work for the Chicago Tribune. I've been there for 34 years. I am in the production area. I don't write, but I enjoy writing. I've put out some articles about baseball cards. How I got on the team card project was, I don't know if you can see behind me, but I've got a frame on the wall that holds 20 cards, and there's another one below it that holds another 20 cards. And for Christmas of 2023, my daughter, Grace, got me one of those frames. So what do I put in there the day after Christmas? I'm thinking, well, my favorite player is Glenn Beckert, second baseman for the Chicago Cubs, and I'll put Glenn Beckert's cards in there. Well, he doesn't have 20 base cards, so I had to think about what else to put in there, and I thought, what about the team cards? So I grabbed a 1965 Cubs team card, and of course, like many others out there, looked at it and said, I don't know who these players are. It's a grainy, small image, and I thought, I have no idea which one is Glenn Beckert. So I thought, I'm going to go on the internet and try to figure out which one is Glenn Beckert. And lo and behold, I found that the 1959 Cubs team photo matched the 1965 Cubs Topps card. And I thought, that's really odd. Glenn Beckert, of course, wasn't in there because he didn't play in 1959. And I thought, did this happen in other years for the Cubs? And what about other teams? And I was off to the races. I worked on the project for 6 months. I was on the internet in my card room looking up all those photos, and I used a variety of sources looking for every team photo that matched the cards. A lot of them were pretty easy to find, but then the hard ones, it was such a satisfying moment when you finally did find the photo that matched. Of those photos, it turns out there's about 18,000 people featured in all those photos. Out of the 502 cards that were produced by Topps from 1951 to 1980, I found 98% of those photos. From that, I then spent another 4 months actually keying in all the individuals on those team cards, and there's 18,300 names there, so that took me a while to do, but I thought, we need to know who's in these photos. There's some really interesting findings, some aha moments. For instance, one of my favorites is the 1963 and 1964 Cincinnati Reds team cards. Often you see them going for decent dollars on eBay or at card shows because Pete Rose is his rookie year is 1963, but that is a 1959 photo in both of those cards, so Pete Rose is not in there. So I thought that was really an interesting find. Los Angeles Dodgers reused a photo 6 consecutive years, 1960 to 1965. Ted Williams, even though he had retired in 1960, his image was on the Boston Red Sox team cards going all the way through 1965 because they were using a 1959 photo over and over and over again. I thought that the 1957 Brooklyn Dodgers team card is really special in that there's 9 Hall of Famers in it. And without the benefit of finding the team photo and the roster that's associated with that, many people wouldn't necessarily identify those or pick them out of the lineup. So once you do that and you match it up with the roster, you see that 9 of them pop out. So that's a really special card. Tommy John and Frank Jobe. Tommy John surgery was done by Dr. Frank Jobe from the Los Angeles Dodgers, and they are in 2 cards together, 1976 and 1977. So that's a neat connection that I don't think everyone was aware of. What my mission now is to try to educate the hobby on things that I've learned over those 50 years. So I've been writing articles beyond the team cards, and that one, like I said, kind of fell in my lap. I just had one a couple weeks ago on the 1969 Topps All-Star cards, which there were some interesting findings from that. The Curt Flood card from 1969, it looks like it's Curt Flood going back to the wall to snag a fly ball. In that image, it looked like the player reaching up for the ball was Roberto Clemente. So then I just took that image and did a little cutting and pasting and overlaid it against the Flood card, and sure enough, it's Roberto Clemente on the Curt Flood card, which is really neat. In fact, I got an email from someone who has 2 sons. One's a Curt Flood collector and the other is a Roberto Clemente collector. And he says, we sure hope we have 2 of those in our collection. So they'll probably go out and buy that other one if they don't. I'm really a truly old-fashioned, old-school hobbyist. But I thought, if I've sat on this for, decades and decades, why not share it with the hobby?
Are you in the business of selling trading cards? Accelerate your trading card business with Ricoh document scanners. The best scanners in the business with the widest range of software and service support. Whether you're a card shop or a collector, from raw singles to rare slabs. Ricoh scanners. Digitize your collection quickly and accurately so you can focus on running your business. Scan more, sell more, do more with Ricoh document scanners.
As we start Matt's 3rd baseball season hosting the Card Life this month, we thought it would be a good time to look back at Matt's collecting journey for the viewers who weren't with us back in June of 2021.
Growing up, mostly my collection was Minnesota Twins or Darren Erstad. Darren Erstad was kind of a legend in our household. My parents would buy the complete sets, and my brother and I would go through, pull out all the Twins and any Darren Erstad card we liked, and then we would pick through, get all of our Minnesota Twins out, and then go to our friends and see if they'd give us their Twins for other players that they wanted. So most of my collecting was just the players I idolized and stuff like that, not necessarily looking at for the rarity of cards. Didn't really get into that until about 2018 when my brother brought it back to me. Came to me and he was like, hey, opening these cards and selling them and doing all this stuff. And I was like, oh, sweet. And then he brought a box over, and just that one box of opening it brought me back to being 10 years old, and I was like, okay. And then next thing you know, every day on my way home from the field, I drove by a Target and I'd pop in there, grab 2 or 3 of those blaster boxes. And then 2020 hit, and obviously fans weren't allowed to come to the stadium. So that's kind of where stadium pulls started. Bring the fans into the stadium that they'd been shut out of, and just give them that experience with me. And again, it's just makes me feel 12 again, and it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy doing it with my little brother.
I mean, that's a sick card. That is such a sick card.
The personal value is way more than the money value of what the card brings to you. So that's kind of what I look at. Anyone who does follow stadium pulls did see I hit a Superfractor Pete Alonso.
Oh my gosh. I am shaking right now. Oh my goodness.
No offense to Pete Alonso, I'm gonna try to strike you out every time, but I love looking at that card, and that is my first ever Superfractor, and I don't know if there's a dollar amount someone could offer it for me.
The Slam Diego card, numbered to 49 in blue, and I got it signed by all 4 of them.
San Diego Padres hit 4 Grand Slams in a row. They had a Slam Diego card, and Manny, Will, Haas, and Toddy were gracious enough to sign it for me. I think I ordered 20 of them and ended up getting 2 parallels, and they signed those, and I gave them the rest, and those cards were right next to Pete Alonso. They ain't leaving, and they're something else.
Before we go, we wanted to send a special belated birthday shout out to Bresden Schaub of De Pere, Wisconsin. who turned 13 a few months ago. Bresden's mom emailed to let us know her son is a huge fan of the Card Life and asked for a Card Life-themed birthday party. Well, we think that's pretty cool and wanted to wish Bresden a very happy 13th birthday.
That's all for the Card Life this month. I'm Matt Strahm. We'll see you next time on the Card Life.